Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. Normally when I do these type of videos, I generally tend to do them for the members only. But I felt like this was an important conversation to sit there and have. Normally, when it comes towards things of race and issues like that, which I find to be very heavy, I generally would tend to stay away from unless it's something that's going to affect the show, it's something that's in the show, it's a part of the episode, and I'll sit there and talk about this. Right? Debated heavily if I should even sit there and weigh in my feelings on this whole Sprina thing. But I make this video because I want to sit there and ask the audience, what is it that people are angry about? Because I'm hearing different commentators, I'm not going to sit there and say names, I'm hearing different commentators say things like as far as equal opportunity. And what I don't understand is, what is it that Trina is not getting the same treatment about when it comes towards her characters versus the other characters? Because the only thing that I can sit there and think that she's not getting, that the other characters are getting, is quote unquote love in the afternoon. That's it. That's the only thing I could sit there and think of. Because I do not understand this. Trina, and this is something that I feel like me and James, we agree on this part, is that she was not meant to be a main character. Okay? She was not meant to be a main character. She came in first. Portia came in after. They pretty much built a family around Trina. And the character has been well written so much that stop and think about this for a minute. You had two different actresses play the same character and brung in a unique take, but made them both great. That's something that rarely happens. Hell, look at all the different Carlys and all the ups and downs. For the most part, people praise both of them. And that's something unique and special, and that's something that no one can sit there and take away from those two. So I don't understand why people are so much in a tizzy about this whole Sprina thing. The fact that they didn't have love in the afternoon. And jumping, then don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't feel comfortable jumping to the simple fact that she didn't get a love scene because of the color of her skin. Where there's so many different other reasons that can be. So many other different reasons that could be. And now people are upset because, that the couple is having problems. And you got Esme in the mix. But here's the thing though. This is one thing that I'm not a fan of, but it's been a staple in many soap operas in many different genres. There's a little old-fashioned thing called love triangles. It's going to happen. You're going to have to sit there and give them some sort of obstacle. Because if you just made them happy and just whatever and no problems and stuff like that, it will be boring as hell. It would have been boring as hell. So the fact that they're getting Esme back and, they're making this whole love triangle thing. Listen, when Esme first came on, before Esme came on, all four of them were boring as hell. Okay? I could have cared less about Jocelyn, Cam, Trina, and I think that was actually at the time. It was just those three. And then Spencer brought in Esme, and it made it interesting. So, here's the thing. People have a right to their feelings, and they have a right to sit there and be disappointed in storylines. We're all disappointed in storylines at some point when it comes to GH because, well, for better or worse, it's GH. But what I'm saying is before we get to the point about But let's look at this from a racial point of view. How about we just look at this from, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting there saying that it's not possible. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and rule that out. That maybe some sort of racial bias is there. But I just don't feel like that's the only contributing factor that it's just based on race. Because let's be honest, Trina's story up into this whole non-love in the afternoon has been great. She's been on the adventure with the Ice Princess and stuff like that. Hell, I've actually liked her scenes with Spencer. To be honest, the only reason I actually like Spencer's scenes is usually because Trina's in them. Makes them a lot more tolerable to deal with. But if we're just going off this love in the afternoon, and the first thing that people need to say is racist, the hell are we doing at this point? Like seriously, what are we doing at this point? Now, we're gonna have another problem. For people that may not know, Nicholas Chavez is going to be doing a thing on Netflix. I think on Netflix. And I've already read that they're not going to sit there and replace him yet. They're not going to replace him yet. Okay? So they're going to find some sort of way to sit there and take him off the canvas. I know people are going to be all up in arms. Oh, favorite couple is not going to be on. I totally understand that. But, it is what it is. And I do sit there and say temporarily because, you know, more money, more success and stuff like that. He may decide to not want to come back on General Hospital. Hopefully he does, but if he doesn't, then they're definitely gonna have to sit there and recast. I personally would have felt more better if they would have temporarily recast him until he came back. This way you can still have the characters going. I know that there's a chemistry between Tobey and Nicholas and stuff like that, and it may not be duplicated. But just for story purposes, it's like I would have rather have seen it continued than what we're doing right now. Because now, well, I mean, unless this happens in a couple of months as far as their Love in the Afternoon goes, they're not even going to get that. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. And like I said, you can feel free to now let me know in the comment section. Because listen, this is a learning opportunity for me as well. Let me know in the comment section if it's not about the fact that she's not getting love in the afternoon. Because that's all I've really been hearing. If it's not about that, then what else are people actually upset about? Is it the fact that they're bringing in Esme back in this whole love triangle thing? Um, Let me know specifically. Let me know as far as the whole race thing. Because honestly, tell you, that's the reason why I'm actually doing this video. The reason why I'm actually doing this video is because people are sitting there taking the angle of it's racist for some odd reason, and I don't even understand. Like, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why some people are sitting there saying that the character's not developed enough. Like, she's literally had a family that has been centered around her. She's been in some great stories. To sit there and say, oh, well, now we're upset because this one little tiny thing. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'll take that back. It's not even so much that it's tiny, but there's a thousand different reasons why. Okay, maybe that's not a thousand, but there's a couple different reasons why that they're not doing a whole lot in the afternoon. We don't know everything that goes on behind the scene. On top of the fact that there's a bloated cast already. There's so many different factors to it that I just don't understand why we're sitting there bringing up the race angle. I could be wrong. And if I'm so, like I always sit there and say in my live streams, educate me. You have a different counterpoint, a different opinion. I'll sit there and read it and be like, okay, cool. Now I know. So, anyway, that's pretty much what I got to sit there and say about the whole Sprina thing. I just figured I'd put my 2 cents into it because Well, at this point, everyone else is, and yeah, figure why not. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.